Okay, guys, I'm back again. Definitely not third time today. Um, third actual video today. Um, again, reading my Solangelo fanfiction. I got to last chapter and rereading it because last time I touched this thing was like 2 years ago. So we're gonna go through this next one together. Nico was shaking by the time he got to the Hades cabin. He had to tell his dad and his sister, who was from the 1930s, that he was gay and had a boyfriend. Hazel already knew, so that gave him more confidence, but as Nico was walking up to the Hades cabin, he passed out. Luckily, Hazel knew just the right doctor to call. Hey, Nico, have you been doing the underworld magic that I told you not to do? I said doctor's orders. That's like swearing on the river Styx, Will said when he was checking Nico's pulse in the infirmary. Hades, Bianca, and Hazel were sitting on the right next to Nico on the other side of the bed, and Hazel whispered in a low voice, low enough that the other two couldn't hear, that Nico and Will are the best couple. When Nico sat up, she ran out, which startled Bianca and Hades. She's gonna be the death of me, Nico said. Darling, you say every day that you're gonna be the death of yourself, so I don't know what you're talking about, Will snapped back, and Nico realized his mistake. I love you, Tesoro, Nico said quietly, but what he didn't realize is that Bianca heard them listening to the conversation, was really confused because her brother had a boyfriend, which is illegal, right? So later, when Nico was all better and could leave the infirmary, she went up to him. Hey, Neeks, what's your relationship with that doctor that treated you in the infirmary? Oh, Will saw Liz. We were friends and hang out a lot, Nico said. But I have to tell you and Dad something, so let's get back to cabin 13, he said again. As they walked out of the infirmary and headed back to the Hades cabin. When Nico, Bianca, Hazel, and Hades got back to cabin 13, Nico sat on his bed and picked up a photo of him and Will on his nightstand and took a deep breath. When he calmed down more, he went up to Hazel and said, I'm going to tell them after I go talk to Will. Okay, I'll be here. I'm using quotation marks now. It's a miracle. Okay, I'll be here, she said, and Nico walked out and went to the Apollo cabin. When he got there, Will noticed him right away and ran up to him and hugged him tightly. Hey, Death Breath, what's up? Well, right now the sun, but in a couple of hours the moon will be up, and Nico said before he was cut off by his boyfriend. Oh my god, I was talking about metaphorically. You take everything way too seriously. Will laughed out. Anyways, I'm gonna tell my dad about... I don't care what you do, Sunshine, as long as it's not that underworld magic, Will said, regretting the words he just said. So I can buy a big box of spiders and put them in the Athena cabin? Nico said excitedly. No! Will shot back almost immediately after the words left Nico's mouth. Okay, fine. I'm gonna go now, though, Nico said. But right when he was about to leave cabin 7, Will caught his arm and kissed him. When they finally broke off, Nico ran out of cabin 7, blushing harder than he ever had, though him and Will had been dating for over a month. They had never kissed, and Nico wasn't expecting to kiss him right now, especially with Apollo watching and all of the Apollo cabin watching. When Nico left the Apollo cabin, everyone except Will and Apollo started cheering and screaming, Solangelo was the couple. And started screaming, Solangelo was the couple in the Apollo cabin. How did Apollo not know about this? So later, when all the cheering and screaming died down... Oh, there's a bug there. Oh. Okay. So later, when all the cheering and screaming died down, Apollo got Will privately and asked him who the mysterious boy from earlier was. Oh, Nico, he's a friend of mine. Why, did something happen to him? Not that I know of, but I didn't know who he was, and then you kissed him, so I just wanted to know who my favorite son kissed. Stop with the dad jokes, Will said. Back at the Hades cabin, Nico had gathered Hades, Bianca, and Hazel to tell them a big announcement. Dad, Bianca, Hazel, I'm dating someone. Oh great, she must be a wonderful girl, Bianca said. Well, they're not a girl. They're not really a girl. I'm dating Will Solace, a son of Apollo and a singer, Naomi Solace. He was cut off. Oh, I knew it! Percy and Jason popped up, popping at their heads and hiding out of their hiding spots. Mierda! Nico yelled in Italian. Nico, language! Bianca said. Scatta! Nico said. Nico, language! Hades, Jason, and Percy yelled at Nico. Will burst into the doors. Hey, Nix, Will said, and then he looked up at Percy and Jason. So this was all you four. What do you mean? Nico asked. Piper and Leo were hiding in my cabin when you left, and they revealed a crazy shrine board that my whole cabin Piper and Leo, Percy, and Jason made. I've dealt with disciplining the others, but these two have been looking for it. Nico was cut off by a kiss from Nico, and then all of the Apollo cabin seemed to be in the Hades cabin. I'm gonna kill a son of Hephaestus, Poseidon, and Zeus, and a daughter of Aphrodite, Nico said. I'll be in the infirmary waiting to help, Will said, leaving the Hades cabin. Okay, I guess that's the end of chapter 4. Wow, well, this chapter I started using quotation marks. Yay! Okay, so, this is the end of this video, because chapter 3 is done. But, see you next video.